Hey everybody, welcome to the Perk.
Man, it's been way too long.
It really has. Let me turn it off. There we go.
But yeah, well, the thing is like we never tell you when we're gonna do this, right? It's just a surprise each time.
This is just ninjutsu here, pure ninjutsu.
That's all it is. We have jobs.
We have lives.
Where do you think we get the time to do this all the time?
Yeah, we have lives, but you know, if we can't be coerced into showing you what those lives are.
But we got some great content that will be hitting video very, very shortly. A lot of this is just kind of like a test run, getting stuff up there. We're trying to just, show you who we are, our personalities, talk about interesting things.
Yep.
But it doesn't hurt if you like, subscribe, and share all that stuff, because we could be doing a whole lot better on our numbers. But we just started this YouTube channel, but it's just kind of like idling.
It's kind of like this. If we want 1 million hits, then we have to kind of be, we can't say this, we can't say that. So while we can say this and say that, we're probably not gonna get a lot of hits right yet. But we are there. We're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things we shouldn't say, so we don't.
There's a lot of things that need to be said though that you shouldn't say.
Right, a lot of things, yes.
Yeah,
I agree with that. So, with that being said,
so I had, as I was telling you, I had a paranormal experience in my kitchen.
You did, and I told you not to tell me the details until now.
Yes, so here's the details. See, I had curtains originally in my apartment, and they were very nice, blue, sheer kind of, but then I realized that everybody outside my neighborhood, and I think we've talked about my neighborhood, but everybody outside of my neighborhood could see me inside the house. Now, if I'm not a svelte or whatever the fuck, good looking guy that.
But
so,
everyone wants to see the sweetness.
Everybody wants to see the sweetness, but me walking around in my boxer shorts in my apartment, which is perfectly natural.
Yeah.
But having everybody be able to see that because I got sheer curtains, I decided, well, let's not do that. Let's get blackout curtains. And when I got blackout curtains, they were blackout curtains. It was nighttime in my house every day, every night, all times. So I got a little tired of that.
Yeah.
So then I finally went and got the middle range. I got curtains. Funny, I got curtains that we had for years that I found, and they're not see-through, but they're not blackout curtains. They're the Goldilocks of curtains.
Coitons. It's coitons.
Coitons. The Goldilocks of coitons. And so I put them up. And the paranormal thing was this. Now, you put curtains up, there's two sides of curtains. There's the side that, faces the street and the side that faces the inside.
Yeah.
And, obviously I know what I'm doing. I'm an expert. Sort of an expert. So I did the curtains up, put them up. Then I get up in the morning, about 3 in the morning, I come out in the kitchen, and the curtains in the kitchen, one side was flipped right over, and one side was not. And I know I didn't do that myself. And I looked at it and I'm like, well, how could this have happened naturally?
Right.
Could my cat have done it? Could it just have flipped? And there is absolutely no way on God's green earth that those curtains that half of a curtain could have flipped on its own. And I had seen it, obviously I put it up, so I had seen it like right before I went to bed. It was fine. So think of a curtain just flipping itself around in its curtain rod somehow.
All right, so the curtain rod, like flipping over the rod? What are we talking about?
The side of the curtain that faces inside the house, that looks nice, the part that looks nice.
Yeah.
And then the part that doesn't look nice faces the street. The part that's supposed to face the street that you don't care about. The part that you don't care about was on the inside, and the part that you care about was on the outside. And I didn't do that.
So this would have had to have been done by a human.
Yes, and my mother didn't do it.
Your mom didn't do it.
She's the only other person in that house.
Impossible for a cat.
Impossible for a cat to do it.
Okay.
Absolutely impossible for the curtain rod to malfunction or something. No, none of this is possible. So
you gotta keep me posted. I wonder if this is gonna keep happening.
Well, I think we've talked about this before. Is that I have had the apartment has a sketchy history.
Yes, there was technically a murder.
There was a murder. I wouldn't even say technically. There was a murder.
There was a murder.
And the story was interesting, and I'll repeat it again because not like you were here last time anyways.
Yes.
But apparently the guy goes to rob the second floor because they have all kinds of drugs and guns and money and all that stuff. And the person in the second floor, in self-defense, shot the guy, and the guy managed to make his way down to the stairs in the front of on the sidewalk right in front of the house where he died.
Have you ever checked the basement? Seeing if
No,
there's any...
I will not go in that
I'm
basement.
just curious if there's any of the drugs or money left over.
Oh, that's cool. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not the drugs, but the money, definitely.
I mean, same thing.
Yeah, so that's so that's the weirdness of my last night and into the morning.
Wow.
So how has your paranormal week been?
Not much this week, but recently. And I was gonna share this on the Fuzzing Rock show, but I'm gonna do it here.
Cool.
Because
Yeah,
we're best friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyway, so I've been into this paranormal stuff for a long time. I got lots of stories that are just like unbelievable, but whether you believe me or not doesn't really matter because I witnessed it firsthand. Well, I got a hold of this what's that word for like a medicine man or a witch doctor?
Shaman.
Shaman is like a shaman type guy, and he gave me, I would say, like the recipe for not really a spell, but more of like a ritual, and it's a 3-part ritual. So I wasn't even entirely 100% sure what would come out of doing this ritual. So I started it on the first night, and I got through step 1. And step 1 of this ritual, right in front of my face, opened up like a realm to another world, like a portal, and it, almost like carnival-esque sort of, and there was like a door, and I didn't necessarily at this point hear any voices or anything, but the inside voice inside myself was saying, do you want to go inside that door? Like I was being invited into the door. I don't know how else to explain it. Now, keep in mind, I only did step 1 of the ritual.
Okay.
And I decided, I'm just kind of feeling things out, and I'm not going to go through that door right now. I'm not ready.
Yeah, all right.
I kind of pushed out a little bit.
You gotta know when you're ready, and you gotta know when you're not ready, because man, if you're not ready, that could be an ordeal.
Well, I've done other rituals in the past and other spells and things like that, and I've had tremendous scary success. So I didn't know where this was going to lead, and the fact that instantaneously after step 1 was done, I'm not saying there was no waiting period whatsoever between step 1 of this ritual and this realm opening up. So the thing I would say about this ritual is that it had like its own what's the word I'm looking for? It had its own intelligence. So I kind of just shut it down and left, and realized what I was in for was going to be pretty intense. So I'll stop there before the next part. Do you have any?
So my question is, what was that ritual?
I can't tell you.
Oh, you were sworn to secrecy.
I can't give away the ritual.
Did it involve mind-altering substances?
I can't tell you the ritual. I can't tell you.
You just told me it involves mind-altering substances.
No, I didn't tell you anything. It's a ritual. And it's sacred.
I'm going to bet it was mind-altering substances was a part of it. I'm just going to bet that.
You can bet it. I don't know who you're betting against.
I don't know.
But
I'll find somebody to bet $1.
There's a sponsor, the Hanger on the Hudson.
Yeah, Hanger on the Hudson.
So, anyway, no, this ritual has been handed down for thousands of years. And there are people in the know that know about this. And I guarantee you the government knows about this because you can reach other places. So
well, that's what I mean. What is the overall, what were you trying to do? Ultimately.
just like always, I'm always just trying to see something. I'm always trying to prove to myself that
like you're trying to
something
go
else,
through some doorways here, right?
I just want to see like the amazing world that we live in different eyes.
Okay.
So the next night, night 2, I chickened out. I didn't even do any of the steps of the ritual. I was gonna, but after what I saw, the first
So
night,
you got hit pretty heavy after the first one. Like the first one hit you to the point where you were scared to do the second one.
So on a 3-step ritual, I only got through the first step on night 1.
Oh man.
Night 2, I decided I couldn't even do it at all. Night 3, I got my confidence back up, and I was actually contacted by the witch doctor, the shaman, the medicine man, and he gave me consent and permission to go for it, basically, in a manner of speaking. So it kind of gave me like encouragement.
Right.
So I got everything set up. He suggested that I put on like some like tranquil like music, kind of like meditation music, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I did that. So step 1 of this ritual happened. I did step 1 of this ritual. And immediately, like no build up, no wait time. Immediately, again, like night 1, so intense. But this time, like I'd say like a force field of sorts was like in front of me. I did step 2 of the ritual. Step 2 of the ritual, force field still in front of me, but now there are entities. Now, I would say 4 to 5. It was intense. I didn't really count, but there was definitely at least 4 of them, and they were behind the force field, and they invited me in. They gave me a choice, and that I found pretty peculiar, because I thought you do step 1 and 2 of the ritual, that you were just whatever happens. I didn't realize like you had a choice. And again, the ritual seems like it has its own intelligence, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
So I accepted the request. I didn't feel scared, and I put my head, like I leaned my head into the force field, and just this part of my face was in there, and it just felt different. I took it out, and it felt normal. And then I just went all the way in. And now I'm having a meeting with, I mean, it was like a board meeting with what I am calling entities from another realm, the alien gods. They did look very much similar to the alien Greys, but had more of a nose and like a human face, not the big eyes.
I'm thinking of like 3 letters. I'm thinking of 3 letters here.
I'm sure you are.
You know I am.
But this was, like WTF.
Yeah, like yeah, that's what it is. It's WTF. Yep.
Well, WTF. So I'm having a meeting. I'm at the table with the alien gods. And I say that funny. I'm not saying these are aliens that ride around in spaceships. I didn't ask a lot of questions. I just listened.
Could have been Cthulhu. Could have been the old gods.
Oh, they were.
The ancient old gods.
They were the ancient old gods.
Right.
Because all of a sudden, when I realized what was really going on, I kind of had this fear come over me, and I was like, hey, do I need to start, praying more to God, to Jesus? What's going on? That was my question. And they almost snickered and laughed at that, and told me that basically they were like all of that, like they are that.
So should have been like, do I need to pray to you?
So I told you that the shaman guy told me I should play like the tranquil music.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the first things they told me was to turn the music off.
Huh.
They basically told me almost like, that's almost insulting that you're playing that music. And they told me that they just needed me to listen, and
Right.
I did, and I listened, and they told me basically that I already knew what I needed to do to become a better person. I know what changes need to be done, and they were giving me encouragement to do that. One of them actually had like kind of a sense of humor and kind of jokingly said like, well, you're a piece of work, and but we have the whole world, you know, that we need to work on as well. But it was bizarre. I felt, first of all, they knew everything. They knew everything about all of us. They know everything you've ever done, good, bad, and everyone's a sinner, right? I mean, that's why we're here.
So they've seen my search history.
They've seen it all. And yeah.
I'm a writer, that's why I search for that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, sort of.
I mean, goats and sheep and stuff.
Goats and
it's
sheep.
research.
It's always about goats and sheep.
But no, they basically told me what I needed to do that I already knew. It was almost like confirmation, like, you know what you need to do to be a better person. And I might be forgetting some of it, but I was coming over with almost like an anxiety. Like there was a comfort, but also like, you're like, what am I witnessing here? What am I seeing? Oh yeah, I see your favorite road is closed over here.
Yeah, that sucks.
But I was like, I was kind of like naked in the Garden of Eden as how I felt. Like God just looking at me like, you ate the apple, that sort of thing. And I just told him, I said, all right, look, I got the message. I know what I need to work on. I got the message. I'm good. They told me, they said, you know where to find us if you need to come back, but you don't need to come back. We said what we had to say. So that happened.
Okay, so now I know, and you know I know, and I know you know I know.
I know you know.
That this happened a while back. This wasn't like yesterday.
It wasn't that long, though.
Not long.
A month ago?
Yeah,
maybe?
it was about a month ago.
Yeah.
So they said that you know what you need to do to be a better person. Have you done any of it in the past month?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so enlighten us on like what was part of your path to enlightenment here.
Well, I mean, a lot of it is just, you know, doing the right thing. I mean, it's common sense. I mean, did I make mistakes? Am I perfect at it? No, not at all. But every time I do something now, I know they're watching.
Ah, there you go. That's a big thing right there.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's kind of like how religion scares people. You know, God's watching and you're gonna go to hell or you're gonna pay, or it's kind of like, you know, if you're having sex and you got a picture of your grandparents in the room, you got to turn them around.
Oh yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. It's kind of like that. And what I realize now is that they're always here. Like, they're here. We just don't always tap into them. But when I said earlier that I know the government and stuff knows about this, they definitely do, because this is probably how they get a lot of their information. This is probably how, what's that called when they do that, you know, when somebody's in a room and...
Oh, remote viewing.
Remote viewing. This might be something similar to that, this ritual. It also, to me, because of who I met with, and I didn't like know who was going to be there, this also might be, I'm assuming, how they get invitations to like the what's that, Galactic Federation?
Oh yeah, right. Like that's how we're getting. Yeah, exactly. And now that would be very awesome if that happened.
So the other thing, besides just knowing I need to take care and do things differently in my life, and I've changed, and even like now, like if I, you know, drop something on the ground and don't pick it up, you know, yeah. I'm like, they saw that.
Yep.
You know, so it's like that. It has been, I don't know, a humbling experience.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
But I never did step 3.
Oh yeah.
I only did step 2. I got enough out of step 2. I didn't know I needed to go to. I don't even think I needed to do step 3.
No, if you don't need to do step 3, then because I mean, you know, why? It's like this: if you're cooking a meal and you got all the spices and everything looks good, but they call for 3 more spices, you don't need them.
Right.
It tastes good. Don't mess with it. You got what you needed out of it.
Who needs to put rosemary in anything anyway?
Yep. I'm gonna go get some coffee. So,
All right.
do we wanna?
Yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah.
All right,
We
Liam
are
got his
back.
coffee. He
Got
didn't
my
even finish his previous coffee.
No, I'm double fisting coffee because today is Friday,
Yes.
and I'm going backwards. All right.
Yeah,
And
let's
with the
not do
coffee,
that.
with the coffee, I will be going forwards.
So we were talking about this ritual that I did, and I've been waiting to talk about this. I was supposed to be on the Fuzzing Rock show, that Fuzzing Rock show. First of all, they got a YouTube channel. Check them out. Fuzz is just a great guy. I was supposed to be on last Thursday, but I ended up going to a concert instead. So,
Yeah, I kind of know what it feels like a part of what you're doing, because I went crazy, so it was different than it was its own ritual.
sure.
It was a ritual, and this is what people don't get, and I think you get this now. When you say you grow up, go to Catholic church, or not even whatever, Christian, Catholic, Muslim, whatever, you go to a religious upbringing and you believe in God, because you're taught to believe in God, and you're taught that if you don't believe in God, something bad's going to happen to you. But either way, the whole point is you believe in God because it's something that you don't have firsthand experience with God.
Right.
But when you go through going crazy or going through a ritual where you actually do encounter God or godlike beings, you know God exists. This isn't a matter of like you were just taught to believe something, because you have experienced a part of your life where God didn't just exist, but God was right there, and you could hear God's voice.
Right.
And that's a different perspective. That's a different. I understand what you're talking about with that, because when I went manic, when I had my manic episode, I thought I was an archangel. So obviously God was, telling me what to do, because that's kind of, the whole deal with archangels.
That's a cool radio name.
The archangel? What are you doing, dude?
Trying to go the wrong way on a one-way, I see.
Yeah.
Troy is full of one-ways.
Oh, yeah. But so I do get what you're saying, and the whole part of ritual, when I was like that, man, I was writing stuff down on like symbols and all that kinds of stuff. I don't remember what the symbols are now,
Right.
but they made all the sense in the world to me. They were like the moon this and the sun that, and like all kinds of crazy symbology, and so I would be scared to do the ritual you did.
Well, I was. And
Yeah.
like I said, after the first night that I just tried a little dabbled into it, did step 1, and I saw what I was going to be up against, knowing there was 2 more steps. Well, so you heard the story, how I went through the 2 steps, and I got to talk to some entities. Well, it was so profound, right, that I said to myself, all right, I think I'm going to try to do step 3. I think I'm going to do it. So we're talking like a week later. And I'm just so boggled. My mind is just like, I can't believe I talked to these people. And I'm thinking like, first of all, what if I show up again and they were like, you were just here, we got nothing more to say to you.
Right.
Like if I call you on the phone and we finished our conversation, I'm not going to call you right back, because you're like, what do you want?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Just to say hi. But I said, you know what, I'm going to try to get to step 3. So I did step 1 again. I did step 2. I did not get to step 3. I've never gotten to step 3 of this ritual. I did step 2.
So what stops you then? What is it that specifically stops you? Because I think you're not going to be happy until you get through step 3. I'm just saying, dude, you are going to continue to do step 1 and step 2 forever.
Well, step 1 opens up the realm.
Right.
Step 2, from what I'm finding, introduces you to
The board.
the board,
Yeah.
but you don't actually know who's going to show up at the meeting.
Okay, so what is step 3 supposed to do?
I don't know necessarily.
Oh, because the shaman won't tell you.
If it's more intense than step 2, because that's pretty intense. If it's more than just meeting with entities and alien gods and things like that. What more?
Like, what if
I possibly?
What if step 3 is that they show you their world, like their world?
I think it might be a part of
that. Would be crazy, right? Like, cause you're seeing the world of you're seeing like the dinner table of the gods.
Honestly, I'm thinking it's probably something like that.
Or you're in Valhalla or something.
I think you get a sneak peek of something.
Yeah.
And but step 2 is so bizarre that it's hard to believe that. So anyway, I did step 2 again. This is a week later. But I wasn't met by my friends that I met the first time.
Okay.
A different entity appeared, and it was definitely not who I was trying to reach. See, it's like it's kind of like they got these internet sites where you can talk to strangers, which is stupid.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That used to be the whole internet back in the day.
Right, but I mean. It was like one of those things. It's like a Russian roulette. Like you don't.
Oh, you don't know who you're gonna get.
You don't know who you're gonna get. So I had such an amazing, life-changing experience.
So, dude, basically, your thing is like a Ouija board because you just never know who you're gonna get.
Very, very much like a Ouija board, except you actually get to visually see who's on the other side. Well, this time. When I got step 2, remember, I was trying to get to step 3, except I think step 3 in the situation would have not been so pleasant. So when I said an entity appeared and it wasn't who I wanted to talk to, it was not. It was very much a demon.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not saying that's the right terminology, but that's the only way I can describe it.
Then, yeah, it was a demon then.
I am met with a demon. And again, just like the first time when I did step 1, the demon gave me a door. Again, a choice. The ritual has an intelligence, and I have a choice. And I'm like, no thank you. And I think going through the door might have been in the step 3 that I needed to take.
Oh, yeah.
I was not taking step 3 with a demon.
No.
So I couldn't shake it. Like, I'm trying to, like, say, all right, in a manner of speaking, I'm like, I got the wrong number. Like, I'm sorry, I'm here by mistake.
Right.
Like, I did not mean, I'm sorry to bother you. Sorry I wasted your time.
Right, hell yeah.
And he's just, like, coming at me, like, come on, man, come on in. Come on, I got some things I want to show you.
So, like, he was a demon, but he wasn't, like, an asshole then?
I don't know.
Or was he an asshole?
No, he wasn't being an asshole.
But he was a demon.
Yeah.
So he was just...
It was very...
Demonic,
very scary.
Well, demons are probably very friendly because they want to entice you into sin, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
All I know is I turned down the offer, and that was it.
So are you? I'm not saying you should do step 3, but I'm kind of saying like you should do step 3. I'm kind of saying you should do step 3 because I look at it this way though. If you do step 3, don't do the ritual again because otherwise you're just going to be wasting your time.
Yeah.
You get through step 3 and then you're done.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't have to try it again. This is something that I think step 2 is more than enough. Also, I think if everyone in the world experienced step 2 of this ritual, I think the world would be a better place.
Yeah.
Even if the entity was a demon or something like that, because that's going to scare the ever-living shit out of you.
Yep.
Again, so I met with the board of the alien gods, the entities who seem to be on the right side of good, and they're always watching. Well, that told me that the other side, the other realm, is also watching. And I've only tapped into these 2 realms. I have no idea how many realms there are.
Right.
Who knows? It's just really bizarre. So that's what happened. And I got up the courage one last time. And I was going to go for it. And I tried. And this time, they basically basically turned me down. It was more like getting the busy signal, I guess you would say.
Oh, so at this point they're not even screwing with you no more.
This time they didn't pick up.
Okay, so then screw the third step, because they don't even care anymore.
I don't know if I did this, a week or a month or a year or 10 years ago, later on in life. But I did try it one more time because I'm just curious. Part of me is going, all right, well, I already met with the alien gods. Then the demonic guy shows up. And I'm thinking, okay, so maybe it'd be somebody completely different this time, and maybe we could have a good conversation. But no one appeared. But I did see like the gates, but they were like locked.
Okay.
And it basically was like subconsciously like communicating with me, and they basically were saying like, nobody's home, nobody's here, like we're turning you down. Like I got rejected.
Yeah. Well, dude, you're not. First of all, like if you're a shaman, when shamans do that stuff, they wait a while. Like they have a whole ritual to cleanse themselves. You're just hopping in and doing it.
Yeah.
So, dude, they're probably looking at you like you're not respecting this.
Yep.
Because you're just out to, so yeah, dude. I mean, if
honestly,
you gave it a year and did it in a year, dude, you probably get some really cool results.
You pretty much hit it nail on the head right there. It did feel like they were kind of like with
annoyed with you.
The messages that I was receiving. It basically seemed like they were annoyed that I shouldn't be knocking right now.
Right.
At the door. I shouldn't be trying
playing poker.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
But they were basically turning me down, but they did leave me with one message.
Yeah.
And they said to maintain my vibrations.
Yeah, which basically means, keep on keeping on.
But no, vibrations, so like those, I don't know, the medicine bowls or whatever they're called. They have a name.
Yeah.
They put like the vibrations, like they were literally saying like, and like think about it. If you go to some place and you're like, oh, I like the vibes.
Yeah, right.
Or that person has good vibes. Well, where did that terminology come from? Vibrations. So basically, I've been trying to keep my vibrations in order and trying to keep negative energy out, and that's all I really learned from that. And I had not done any rituals since. That is the end of the story.
Nice.
If you have questions, you can hit me up on social media. Yeah. Rob Smittix, Smittix. I'm on all platforms. I don't really look at a lot of them. And I'm not on Snapchat because I'm way too old for that. But besides that, I might give you a little bit more information.
We're still working on TikTok. Or have you mastered that yet?
No. I keep downloading TikTok. Then I start scrolling and there's nothing but horrors.
Yeah.
And then I uninstall it, and then I try it again, and the same thing. And usually I have it downloaded for about 10 minutes, and I just hate it. I hate TikTok.
Yeah.
So people were telling me, well, once I start liking things and going through things, like the horrors will eventually go away.
Yeah, I really don't have horrors on my TikTok. I have like people doing funny stuff, and like I showed you those crushers where you throw different things into the crushers and it crushes them.
Yeah, you love that kind
I have stuff like that because I'm into that kind of stuff. I love seeing things get destroyed.
Wow. Take a look at me.
You just love horrors.
No, I don't.
It gives you what you want. You must want horrors.
No, I'm perfectly fine without horrors.
I'm not saying like you really want horrors. I'm just saying like, if it's horrors or the Battle of the Bulge, it's probably gonna be horrors.
It's definitely a bulge. But the thing is that if I was trying to find horrors, that'd be great. Don't just throw horrors in my face.
Yeah, right. You need to solicit horrors.
Right.
Yes, I hear you.
That's perfectly legal.
What are you doing?
Anyway, so I think that was interesting.
That was interesting. And I'm going to lead off with something interesting on my own. I am a DJ now.
Yes!
I'm a substitute DJ.
You're substitute DJ, right? You're finding tacks on the chair and stuff? I've been waiting for you?
Yep, I have found some, but I have a very big ass and they don't hurt.
Pay attention to that coffee pot with these, substitute pranks that we're gonna pull on you.
Oh, yeah, I better. But you got to remember, man, I'm the one that's in at 5 in the morning. So if any pranks are going to be happening, I'm first up to bat.
That's what you think.
Oh yeah, well, that's true because you are here in the evening, so you could lay out some mines.
I could.
You could.
But that's cool, man. I'm so glad that you're actually doing the DJ thing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. It's just, it's obviously like I'm always like, okay, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? But it happens. You just say stuff.
Well, you're a clever guy.
Yeah, because I think a lot of stuff. I think about a lot of stuff. So of course.
Yeah, just think out loud.
That's what I do. I think out loud. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. So pretty soon, I think, you won't always be a substitute DJ. We'll have to get you some hours.
Well, I'll probably get hours. And honestly, it's no big deal me getting hours because all I got to do is go into the station for like an hour and I could program whatever. That's what I love about it is it is so easy to do it now. There are very few things. The only thing I don't really know how to do is to load songs, but I don't need to do that right now.
Right, I'll take care of that. Yeah, once you tell me what you want, I'll put it in.
Once I need, I do want to learn it, but once I need to do that stuff, then I'll learn it and I'll do that too. But I just like talking to people.
Well, you're surrounded by a really good group here now.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people, and this is what separates RadioRadioX.com, our radio station and our website, from others. All right, there's a reason that for 4 out of 5 years we've got the People's Choice Award for #1 radio station in town.
Yep.
Well, it's because we're all in the music scene.
Yep.
When you listen to those corporate radio stations, those people, they don't know crap about music, most of them.
No, they don't.
And they also don't get to pick their music at all.
I'll tell you, my confession is that I don't handpick every song because there's so many songs in the library and I would not even know where to begin.
Yeah.
So I random select, but I decide what type of music is good, and I do interesting little combinations of like, okay, well, there are 2 rocks and an alternative, and then an indie, and then a rock again, and then I do that. So I have fun with it like that.
Well, I worked in commercial radio since 94 is when I started doing commercials. 96. I got into commercial radio, worked in commercial radio for decades, and the thing is it's an illusion. They put in the music for you, the music director. It's already programmed.
Okay.
You don't get to pick anything.
You just do voice tracks.
Or you're doing it live, and you go in, and the thing is like, so when you hear on regular radio, and this song's going out to Jessica in Cohoes, New York.
That's crap.
No, the thing is the reason Jessica got her song played is because it was already going to play.
Oh, okay.
So that's how much it is. But again, what separates us is that we're a group of musicians. We're a group of people that are in bands in the music scene, and many of us have been on the radio for a long, long time. As a matter of fact, we have Jimmy Barrett, who almost has 60 years under his belt being a DJ in this area, and I don't think anyone that's alive.
What is Kaleidoscope is the longest running indie show or something like that in the country?
Definitely. In the country?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even realize that.
It's like the longest running.
Holy
I don't know if I'm saying this right. It's like the longest running indie show, variety, something in the country.
It's at like 58, 59 years right now, something like that. Yeah, it's definitely up there. So we have that going for us. Art Fredette and I worked at the same radio station cluster back in 1996 together. So we've been doing it a really long time. And Vito has been in radio for a very long time. And then we got some newcomers because we got a lot of people with personality like Peggy and Nikki. And of course, now the Papa Sween being over here. And I know Blake, Howling at the Moon, has done radio for a long time. Ed Conway, one of our DJs. I don't know how long Ed's been doing it, but he's definitely doing something right. So we got a lot of good shows, got a lot of good programs, and we got a lot of good stuff for you in store.
So what I've been taking to doing is, and I know this is everybody, if you're at work, if you're at home, everybody has a computer, everybody has a phone with a browser, go to RadioRadioX.com, hit play, and then minimize the browser, minimize the thing on your phone, or open up a new tab on your browser and just do your whatever you're going to be doing and just listen to it. That's what I do. I just sit there and listen to it. And what's going to happen to you is you're going to hear a song that's amazing, and you're going to be like, oh, who is that? And then you're going to go on that tab and it's going to show you who it is.
Right.
And then you might find a new musical love.
Yeah.
I'll tell you honestly, I think it was this morning or yesterday morning, I was writing a book. Not a whole book in the morning. I was writing scenes from my book coming, and I was listening to Radio X, and I heard this just amazing lyricist. This woman, just amazing lyrics. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, she's a genius. And I look on her, it's Ani DeFranco.
I love Ani. I interviewed her.
I didn't know. I knew the name, but I didn't know the music. But then when I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, that's why she's famous.
Yeah, definitely. She was so cool to talk to. It was so amazing to me. I mean, I was a little fanboy on that one.
Nice.
But you just interviewed Ian from
Ian Anderson, and you know what's funny?
Jethro Tull.
It's funny that because my maintenance guy for our apartment that's been in, because I've got some stuff, Gary, he was like, yeah, I read that article. He's like, you know what? You did a really good job with the questions, but he was kind of a dick. And that's what I'm hearing from a lot of people, that they thought that the questions were good, but that he was kind of a dick.
Well, that kind of made it probably a better interview.
It made it a better interview. It definitely made it a better interview.
If he was all sugarcoat and shit, it wouldn't be as much of a fun read.
I'd rather have someone be a dick in an interview sometimes than just be nice but tell me nothing.
Right, exactly.
I'd rather be wrong in an interview. Go down a line of questioning where they tell me no, you're wrong. I love that, because then they say what the right thing is.
That's right.
So yeah, it's always, those were good interviews. Like Pat Metheny, he was a great guy, but like there were a couple areas I was going into, he's like, no, that's not like that. Right. And that was cool, because then he talked about how it was.
Yeah. And we got a special edition of Experience Monthly coming out in the biggest newspaper in the area in the whole year. Like Times-Union. This is the Thanksgiving issue of the Times-Union. You know what that means?
The issue that's like this big.
It's got all the Black Friday coupons and deals and inserts. We're going to have a special edition of Experience Monthly in the Times-Union. So very excited about that.
It's going to be amazing.
It is.
All right, so
I think that's good.
I think that's good, man. All right, so this has been the Perk.
It has.
I am double fisting coffees right now. I got my two.
Cheers and
cheers.
And cheers. Keep on masturbating, and world peace.
World peace and masturbation.